Hello and welcome to The Print. I'm Snehesh Alex Philip. Well, on the 26th of March, India signed a mega deal. Now, this deal was not signed with any foreign company or a foreign country like the US or France, but actually signed with two Indian companies. Yes, I'm talking about the ATAGS deal, the 6,900 crore deal for 307 ATAGS and their towing vehicles. And to discuss the importance of this deal, what is ATAGS, what is the road ahead, I have with me a very important guest. And I still call him, and I've interviewed him earlier also, and I call him the father of India's modern artillery program. Yes, I'm talking about Lieutenant General P.R. Shankar. Welcome to the Print, sir.
Oh, thanks a lot, and thanks for elevating me to something like father of the modern artillery program.
Well,
It gives
absolutely.
you
I would have to call you that because you were the DDG artillery in 2009, and that is when the RT profile of 2027 was formed. Then you became the ADG in 2012, and then you were DG artillery in 2014 to 2016. So this entire period of the modernization, be it the Dhanush, be it M777, be it the attacks,
everything.
everything under your tenure, and hence I call you as the father of India's modern
Oh,
artillery
thank you.
system.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.
But since you called me that, let me put it in perspective. What was at stake, slightly to get a background.
Yeah,
Around 2009-10, we didn't have one program going. Everything was a failure. We had failed everywhere, right? And everything was in its starting blocks. And we had seven types of guns we were looking for. I
and
mean,
what are those
just
seven
think.
times that you were looking for, sir?
Yeah. We were looking for the all 155 guns. We were looking for the towed version. We were looking for the ultralight howitzer. We were looking for the MGS. We were looking for Sharang, which is the upgunned version of from a 130 to 155. And then we were looking for the you know tracked version. That's the Vajra. We were looking at the wheeled version, and then we were looking at the ATAGS. So seven things. Uh, Good. The big picture is that what all have we succeeded in? We have
Exactly.
succeeded in the tracked version. We have succeeded in the ultralight howitzer. We have succeeded in Sharang. We have succeeded in Dhanush, and now we have succeeded in ATAGS. Okay. Uh, in the earlier seven, I didn't mention about Dhanush, but Dhanush was actually supposed to be part of the towed gun system. It was a hive off. So if
Oh,
you really look at it, we were eight guns. But out
okay.
of eight, we have succeeded in five, which is phenomenal. And this is a day actually I would like to celebrate. What I wrote then and what I've dreamt of, what I put through, it's on rails and it is one by one, everything has come out. I'm very happy today. And more than this, it's not only this, seven or eight guns we were looking at. We were also looking at Pinaka, more regiments, extended range Pinaka.
Yeah,
We were looking at also BrahMos and extending that range. We were looking at Smirch because with Smirch we had got into certain technical problems. At a point of time, we couldn't fire them, right?
oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, we couldn't fire. Now, I can tell you this very confidently. There was a time around 2010, 12 or so, there were technical defects which were perceived to be in the Smirch. We couldn't fire, right? And then for that, we had to resolve the issue with Russia. And now it's, of course, then all that is past. And we've got more ammunition and all that, right? Then this was the period where we got the weapon locating radar.
Yeah,
Very important. The weapon locating radar today is better than what the Americans could have given us ever. When we bought the weapon locating radar initially from America, they gave us the Mark III version and then we developed it. Later, they said, we'll give you the Mark 7 version at an exorbitant price. So, in the course of my discussion, when we developed our Swathi weapon locating radar, I told them, look, do you want the Swathi weapon locating radar? I'll sell it to you at the same price. And they immediately said, "Sir, please take Mark 10." Immediately
Okay.
they said they'll take Mark 10. I said, "No, you take Swathi, which is better than Mark 10, and I'll give it to you at the same price you're quoting. And I'll give you 10% discount also off." That's the thing. And the differential between what we made Swathi and what the Americans were offering us was about 300%.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you all this because people need to understand the larger picture we get before we get into ATAGS. And the best comment I heard last week, I was in School of Artillery in connection with the trials of the ramjet ammunition, which we are developing in IIT Madras in Devlali. And one of the officers said, "Sir, thank you for the Swathi weapon locating radar because it's perfect. It's performing fantastic." And he was a guy who fired it actually in 28 days, right? So, to that extent, this attacks was a value addition in our system. Now I yield the floor to you, and you can tell what you want or
You know,
ask what you want.
while this discussion was on attacks, thank you so much for also mentioning about the Swathi radar and the history of it. I was actually not aware of it in such intricate details. But the fact is that the Swathi is a slap on all those. Your statement is a slap on all those who on social media have claimed that the so-called Swathi radar has performed badly in Armenia, and Armenia is not happy. The fact is that Armenia is super happy with this, with this particular radar system. But sir, coming back to the main issue here, which is attacks. Now,
Mm.
I'm going to ask you some very simple questions because these are the questions like a lot of users on
Yeah,
social
yeah, I
media
understand.
have sent out to me. So, what is attacks?
See, it's called the Advanced Towed Artillery Gun System. That's the full. It's an acronym for Advanced Towed Artillery Gun System. This system was conceived in 2010-11 and given to DRDO as a project. It's taken 14 years, 12, 13 years from drawing board to contract.
Yeah,
I think is very good, very fast. It's a 155 gun.
yeah,
All guns to hitherto will be 155 But this is a 52 caliber gun. What is a 52 caliber gun? 52 caliber indicates the length of the barrel. 52 into 155 is the length of the barrel. Okay.
okay,
For example, the Bofors is a 39 caliber barrel. That is 39 times 155. That's the length of the barrel. Again, the Dhanush is a 45 caliber barrel. It is 45 times 155 is the length of the barrel. Why
okay,
does the length of the barrel matter? I mean, you must understand. If you
yeah,
have a longer barrel, you get a longer range. Okay, I'll not go into the physics of it. I can explain it
yeah,
to a PA. Right. So you get longer range. That's why you've gone longer. But there's a cutoff beyond which you can't expand the barrel further because it's the weight penalties and pressure time curves and all that. So 52 is the ultimate. Beyond this, you can't extend the barrel because you have a longer barrel, weight increases, the gun weight increases, and all that. In the case of the attacks, the additionality is that the normal chamber capacity of every 155 gun. What is chamber capacity? That's the amount of charge you can put in.
okay,
Okay, right? So you put the shell in and then you put charges.
yeah,
So in the case of the Bofors and all, they are 20 Bofors have got about 21 odd liters chamber capacity. The Dhanush has a 23 something chamber capacity. This has got 25-liter chamber capacity. So you can put more charge into it. The moment you put more charge into it, the range increases. For
yeah.
example, in Bofors, you fire with zone 5. In
What is a zone five?
Dhanush, I'll come to that, right? Zone 5 is, you see, when you fire the artillery, you don't fire all guns at maximum range. So if you want to fire at lesser ranges, you put one zone. You want to increase the range, you put two zones. That's the zone is the number of charges you put in it.
Okay,
And why you do that is, I mean, you people have to understand. It's a very fundamental thing and very important thing. If you fire the gun at the highest charge always, the gun wears out. The life of the gun reduces drastically. So you fire the gun at the range you want with the charge you want. Okay, so that you conserve the barrel. That's the thing. And the propellant is very costly. So you don't just funko the propellant. Okay. When you say zone 5, you're putting 5 charges. When you say zone 6, that's the basic 5 charges which you use in ultralight howitzer or Bofors. 6 charges you use in Dhanush, a 45 caliber barrel. That's why you get extra range, extra charge, extra barrel. You get additional range. ATAGS, it is designed for a 25-liter uh,
chamber.
chamber with 7 charges you can fire.
And that's the
That's the
reason
thing.
why it has a range which outmatches any other artillery gun of its class. It has
Yeah,
a
it has.
45
Yeah,
plus, it has just about 48.
yeah. No, 48 with charge 7. I don't
Yeah.
know what it has done with charge 6. I'll come to that a little later. And there's a penalty for this. And that's the penalty which ATAGS has paid. And the penalty is the weight has increased enormously. When you increase the amount of charge you put in, the chamber has to have withstand the stresses.
Okay.
If you have to have the withstand the stresses, the weight of the barrel goes up phenomenally. Plus a 52 caliber barrel, longer barrel, and the additional thrust and pressure it has to withstand. So the weight goes up. The moment you have a heavier barrel, everything else goes up. Every other weight goes up. And then if you have you see, a gun is a engine actually. It has to be in balance, right? Its stability and weight and everything goes up. The moment everything goes up, it starts multiplying. It goes to the multiplication factor that you can't use pneumatic drives because of the weight. Then you have to go for electric drives. The moment you go for electric drives, you still pay a
Yeah.
weight penalty, and you pay a penalty of requiring electricity. You need to charge these electric drives, or you need to have a very heavy engine. So that is why you will see that there's a debate which goes on that the attacks from Bofors is just about 12 tons, and the attacks is 19 to 20 tons. Okay, now
Initially, it was
that's
about 22 tons. It was
it was
originally about
22, yeah, 22 ton. Now they say about 19 to 20 tons. I'm not very sure about it. But somewhere in that they can't reduce it further. It can't be reduced further. Let me put it this way. So that 7 tons increase is because of this fundamental thing called you increase the range.
So correct me one thing. So initially, for the towed gun systems, the army has a requirement of about 1300, 1400, if I recollect
Yeah, yeah,
correctly.
yeah,
We are now going in for only 307
yeah,
attacks.
yeah,
Why? Is it the weight issue?
yeah. No, let me put it this way. When we uh, conceptualize the entire artillery 2027 plan, the towed gun was to be a normal global tender. They said we'll go for it and buy it with, of course, indigenous content, EU, all that. At that time, we didn't have the attacks on the drawing board at all.
Yeah.
Zero.
Okay.
And neither did anyone think of the drawing board thing. We didn't know whether the people will make this gun or not. We didn't have designs. So we gave this to the DRDO, and we had at that point of time failed many times in our quest for getting guns from abroad. We had failed twice. We had failed in towed gun systems, including trials, and twice we had failed in tracked gun systems. The light howitzer was coming nowhere. Look, you have to remember in 2010 we didn't have anything. All these decisions were made then. You can't do mid-course corrections easily in these systems. So at that time, we took a decision very seriously that, look, let's start the Dhanush program, let's start the ATAGS program indigenously. The indigenization didn't start now. It started in 2010. Many
Yeah.
people think, why I'm putting this is with due, respect to the current government and due respect to the previous government also. Okay, it is the indigenization didn't start with Mr. Modi becoming the prime minister. It
Yeah.
started before. He
Of
gave a
course.
lot of acceleration to it. Okay, I have no doubt about it. lot of प्रोत्साहन हिंदी में बोलना है तो एक प्रोत्साहन दिया इन्होंने
Huh.
but The fact is, we had started this in 2010, and that's around the time when we gave the project. And we monitored this project, and as the design kept happening, we knew this will go overboard. We knew it will go overboard. Let me be very honest.
So,
And
but correct me. I'm so sorry. I'll step in here. So
yeah,
you say when you already realize that it's going to go overboard. I trying to say that the DRDO was designing the gun on its own. You didn't give DRDO any,
no, no,
the
we did.
GSQRs because you had a
Yeah,
colonel rank officer and two lieutenant colonel rank officers who were attached to this program.
no, it's like this. You understand? We were monitoring it. There's no doubt. First and foremost, this is a development model. In development programs with DRDO, there's no GSQR. There's
Okay.
something called a PSQR. So
Yeah.
you evolve into a GSQR. In fact, I don't think the GSQR is still made for this attacks, incidentally.
Uh-huh.
It's still
Okay.
going on a PSQR. So
Okay.
you know, PSQR is a provisional SQR.
Yeah.
Okay? So that evolved. And as it evolved, in fact, as a DGRT, I said, you can't take this gun beyond 15 tons. I put a line down, but they
Oh,
had to breach it because they couldn't breach it. I mean, why they breached it and all, I don't know because I left. I am telling you now openly that I didn't want this gun more than 15 tons. Okay. But I'm not holding it against them because that has evolved. You can't, certain things when you start the design, you've gone to a level, you can't go beyond that. I mean, you can't do anything more. Okay. So at 19 tons, they've got the gun fires well, it's gone through most trials. There are certain issues in this gun even now. Let me put it. But then it's not issues which will stop inducting of the gun. Okay. I'm not getting into the issues because that will be nitpicking. So today is a day to celebrate. Okay. As far as I am concerned. मेरा एक यार program ठीक हो गया after so many years.
yeah.
Okay. And India has made its own gun. This is the first gun we have made after 1984, the
Absolutely.
light field gun. Okay. People don't understand. And I see in social media people talking all nonsense. Let me tell you. They even curse me. That's okay. Okay.
That's that's
Watch it.
part of the game, the
Yeah,
parcel.
yeah. That's
I guess.
that's part of the environment. It could be competition by others. It could be paid. All that nonsense. I know. I mean, ये तो गंजे हो गए यार ये सब सुन के. So, so I hope I've cleared all the doubts as to all this. And the numbers we fixed at 307, 300. 7 is for other purposes. 300 is 15 regiments. We said
Okay.
we'll hive it off the original 1300 and say if this succeeds, we'll go ahead. We don't have to go there. Okay. So this has succeeded, but not in the way we wanted it. That's
So
the
you're
thing.
saying as the DG artillery, you had mentioned in the file notings that this should not be more than 15 tons. Eventually,
I
now it
put
is
it in.
brought 14 to 19
Yeah,
tons.
yeah. That I understand that. I
So that is
understand
the,
both ways.
yeah, absolutely, and that is the reason why the army is looking at acquiring a new gun system, the towed gun system (TGS), which is going to be the mainstay, and where they have
Yeah,
specified that it needs to be the maximum weight needs to be 15 tons.
yeah. 15
So,
tons. 14. I thought it was 14 tons, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the QR at this point of time. Let me be
yeah,
very honest.
the RFI states 15 tons has to be the maximum weight which is there.
Maximum weight.
For the
Yeah,
towed,
but I think
for the towed.
to the best of my knowledge, they should not cross 14. They're given themselves a leeway of 1 ton. Uh,
Okay.
right. Let me explain why. People
Hmm.
don't understand because a lot of things. Why is this 15 tons of importance, or 14 tons or 16 tons is important? So people will say, look, you've taken this gun to high altitude.
Sikkim.
It has gone to Sikkim. Yeah, it's gone to Sikkim. So what if? Then you can fire. This is not. It's this in battle. You just don't take a gun anywhere you want and be there and fire. Okay, that can't happen. In battle, you should be prepared to move. One is shoot and scoot from one gun position to the other. The second important thing is you have to sidestep. When you have to sidestep, when threat comes in a particular direction, you contract into that. You concentrate onto that point. So you have to sidestep artillery from great distances. And when artillery moves in sidestepping, it moves very fast. Incidentally, when artillery moves, it moves with a checkered flag. What is a checkered flag for a convoy? No one stops it.
Okay.
No one stops it. Every other is out, including the general officer commanding of the division has to stand aside when artillery moves. That
Okay.
is the speed at which you move. And in mountains, when you move with a 18, 19 ton gun weight, I don't think it would be feasible. And in those places, if one gun gets stuck somewhere, you're out of the equation. You'll not get the firepower the way you want at the right time and place. So, you know, it's a field commander would be very uncomfortable if his artillery can't is not mobile. People think in mountains there's no mobility, but mountains demand maximum mobility.
True.
Okay, then other issues are there. Unfortunately for 19 tons, you don't have a gun tower. Though they are ordering the gun tower, I'm very clear about it.
Yeah.
This gun tower is not made to handle this 19 tons of weight. Okay, you need a different gun tower altogether. And so, and plus today, again, you look at it in today's thing, it's a huge envelope. In the age of drones, this is a huge thing. If you see an ATAGS, you'll come to know. You see, put a
Yeah.
ATAGS and you put you ultralight howitzer next to each other, you come to know the difference. So
It's
there
like
is
the
a
Tejas and the Sukhoi.
yes, but the ATAGS is still a good gun. Let me put it. What does it do? You don't have to put all attacks up in the mountains. So you put it in the plains, use it in the plains. And whatever guns are in the plains, like the Bofors regiments and all, you push it up to the mountains. So there's my personal opinion. How the army does it is their headache. But
So
there's a logical
when you say plains, it is to the borders with Pakistan, not
Pakistan,
with the
Pakistan.
borders with China, because China is all mountainous terrain.
Yeah,
And this is where
mountainous.
I actually want to, I've done stories on this before. India bought the M777s. It was under you
Yeah,
that the M777s were bought. 145 of them, all of them have been deployed in the eastern sector. The M777s weigh about 4.5 tons, if I'm not mistaken.
4.5 tons.
So 4.5 tons, right? And the entire lot of 145 M777s have been deployed in the eastern sector. In the northern sector, we have the Vajras, and now the Dhanush has started coming in. So Dhanush has been deployed in the Ladakh sector. Why different guns for different theater? Why not
Okay,
more
let me.
M777s?
Okay,
Because it is easy to move.
your logic is correct. Your logic is correct. Why not more M777s? Personally, I felt we should have more M777s.
You personally
Okay.
felt, or did you officially feel?
Officially, also, I recommended it
Oh,
when I
acha.
was
Okay.
I recommended it as a major general. But that was at a time when we had not yet signed the contract for M777.
Okay.
Okay, and we had not signed. The requirement is there. There's no doubt about it. The requirement is there, and I had made an examination, and I'm sure that file is lying somewhere in the RT Directorate. I signed on it as a major general,
Which means
and
that means you were DDG then. ADG.
ADG
Yeah.
somewhere around 2012, 13. Okay,
Okay.
so I sent it, and everyone said, "Look, we need it," but they said we will buy it or go for this after we procure the first lot and gain some experience. That's a thing waiting to happen. That's a call which the army has to take.
Okay.
It's open still. Okay, it's not closed, right? You need you need more light, ultralight howitzers in the eastern Ladakh. Now, why have Vajras been inducted in eastern Ladakh?
It
Vajras
was
have
never
been
meant to
inducted.
be.
Yeah, it was never meant to be because we didn't visualize things going the way they went.
Yeah.
You need Vajra only in two places in India. One is in that Depsang and eastern Ladakh, that belt. Uh, you need there, because there you have a lot of flat areas. There are places, there's something called Moreh Plains. So anyone who's gone to Ladakh will know from the other route. In
Yeah.
Moreh Plains, you can close your eyes, I'm telling you this, close your eyes. I've done this also. Close your eyes, put your leg on a pedal and keep driving. After 10 minutes, you can wake up and you'll feel you're still driving at 14,000 feet.
Okay.
So there are such plain
Wow.
areas,
Yeah.
vast plain areas open in the Tibetan plateau. There you need these vajras. But you get off that, you don't need vajras there. You can't use them. Okay. The only other place where you can use vajras, or you need vajras, is you need it in the Sikkim plateau. Okay, North Sikkim. That's the
Yeah.
only other place. Nowhere else can you take vajras. That is
Okay.
why we have just gone in for 5 regiments of vajras. 100 guns is 5 regiments. Okay, that duly mountainized and all that. So that's
Now
where
Indian
it
Army
goes.
has gone in for 100 more. Contract has been signed for
Ah,
100
that's
more.
that's for high. That's for high altitude.
Yeah.
You see, vajras are self-propelled guns, basically for deserts,
Yeah.
right? Now, since so you've gone in for 100 more guns so that you can use them in high altitude. I mean, whether these 100 guns would have already gone up, turbocharged and all that,
Yeah.
that's an adjustment. Okay. And the balance completely we have to go for towed equipment, right? Which is lighter, which is supposed to be the backbone of artillery. And that's what now I think they've asked for 400. And
Yeah.
the thing, why 400, not 1100 in one go, also I must explain. See, the point is, having learned the earlier cycles, the moment you had a 1300 RFP and a contract out, there's a problem. A lot of issues come up because then you're committing yourself to only one gun for the next 50 years, 60 years. These guns will last us 60, 70 years. So it doesn't give you scope to improve. That was our problem when we originally made that. And I'm glad they have now rectified it and gone in for only 400 guns. Even ATAGS, 300 guns only. Good decision. Because what will happen is the moment you start using these attacks, after all, the first attack is not even in. Already
Yeah.
people are crying, why only 300, why not 2,400 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the stupid way of doing things, actually. It's good 300 only, right? You take the gun, use it. You in the course of say 1 year, 2 years, I'm sure there will be the DRDO itself will say, let's cut the weight down. If you go into it, you might be able to cut the weight down. We don't know unless you start using it. I'll give you equivalent Pinaka. The first Pinakas we got to the Pinakas which exist today, which are new coming in, the difference is 3.5 tons reduced. We've reduced the weight of the Pinakas after the first 2 regiments. Now I think even those first 2 regiments would have got reduced, modified. So you have to give yourself time to, modify. If you can't modify, then you say, okay, take a call. Do you need the same or continue? You will get time. You'll get about 3, 4 years, and you have there's a process of repeat order, everything in the DAP. So you can do that. So there's no hurry. I mean, in any case, none of these things are going to come in a hurry. And the next thing is you can't order for all 5,000 guns which you need immediately. Or I'm saying 5,000 is, I think totally about 2,000 odd guns which
Yeah.
we need in the Indian artillery. You can't order for everything. अगर एक ही बार सब कुछ नया हो जाएगा, एक ही बार सब कुछ पुराना भी हो जाएगा.
Hmm.
So you keep inducting slowly, so that at any one time you have 30% new guns, about 30 to 40% old fully settled medium life guns,
Medium
and
life
30
guns.
to 40% are on the obsolescence stage. So that plateau you have to hit. Okay, so that's what we are doing. You inducted your ultralight howitzers and Vajras 4, 5 years back. 3 or 4 years back. Now this is coming in. By the time this gets in, it'll be about 4 years. So next lot will be the towed gun system. So you slowly, at any one time, you don't discard all. And you also get time to upgrade each individually. Each is a program. You want to upgrade it. My view, the moment attacks start coming in, you must upgrade Bofors. See, 400 guns, Bofors, they are now 84 vintage. They're
Yeah.
40 years old. You have to upgrade them. You have
And
to upgun
not
them,
all
upgrade your.
400 are still active. I think the numbers
And
are less on the
and
ground. Active
okay, they
numbers.
might be about 380, 390. Some have gone, some have burst, some have. That's it. Whatever are there, you have to upgrade them. That's a program. For the time you do that upgradation, those guns are out of the equation. Okay. You have to build capacities. Can you do one at a time, three at a time, four at a time? So all this is a macro planning. It's just not that, blindly. I see many senior officers also saying, oh, we should have bought all because they are indigenous. That's not the way defense planning is done. You have to do it, operationally, you have to be balanced, and everything you have to be balanced. And I still repeat, I'm glad this attacks has come through because it has given us technologies. It will pave the way for the, what shall I say, the towed gun system which is coming. The technologies which is here will come up there.
So
It's
you're
only
saying there
Indian
could be
player
a lighter version of attacks that could be there for the
in the
TGS
towed gun system. Yeah,
because the DRDO already has the 23-liter chamber. So when the chamber
yeah,
changes,
yeah.
uh, okay,
So there's another problem. Let me tell you. I mean, people again have to understand. See, you have a 25-liter chamber, you need a different ammunition system altogether. That means you need a new ammunition factory, new charge system. Charge is okay, all that. I don't think today, even today, the the ATAGS is clear for Charge 7. There's a
okay.
problem with that. There's a problem. There's a technological problem. We have to understand that limitation. It's one thing to say I have a gun which can fire 48, but can it actually fire with the ammunition you have? That's the question.
So this is the
So
reason. Is this the
yeah,
reason?
yeah,
Because I was talking to somebody and somebody mentioned this to me that attacks. He said the attacks is a wonderful gun, but and then we were talking about exports. He said exports become a problematic thing because the NATO guns are 23 liter chamber. This is a 25-liter. So there's in terms of ammunition there is a problematic thing.
yeah. See, we are all on NATO standard ammunition. What we produce is also NATO standard ammunition. Okay. The NATO standard ammunition is designed for a particular pressure. For ATAGS, we are not confident. I don't think anyone is confident of firing this with Charge 7. Okay. Uh, it fires. We have fired. I think we have fired because that would have started
Yeah,
after I left. Okay,
yeah.
it would have fired, but will it take sustained fire? All those questions. To the best of my knowledge, you can't fire Charge 7 with it, with the
Okay.
normal shells which you have. So you need to have a special shell. Now that special shell has not been designed. तो आप ये Charge 7 लेके क्या करोगे? So there are issues in this, but I'm sure these issues are the way forward. People say India will accept, armed forces will accept a gun only when everything is ready, but they'll give concessions to others. Here is a gun we are accepting with all the problems it has. Please understand. This gun, Indian Army is accepting with whatever issues they have. And I'm sure there are more issues. I know for one because I said get the Dhanush in with all the problems it has. It had a lot of problems. I said still get it in. Because unless these guns come in contracted, delivered, used, fired, you'll not know how to do. What about the maintenance part? We don't know. Are the maintenance thing? Why is one of the biggest problems with Arjun is it didn't have a maintenance or a supply chain.
Yeah.
Never had. अभी नया गन आ गया 2 साल के बाद आपको स्पेयर्स चाहिए उसके लिए आपके पास सिस्टम है या नहीं है so all these things will a new gun induction is not a joke. It takes a lot of thinking, and that too, this is a new system you're inducting. So we have done very well in 10 years, 11 years flat. You put a gun on ground, inducted. Men are going to handle it, right? It's not one gun. The best thing, again, uh, in the case of Dhanush, we had insisted. In fact, it was I who went to Mr. Manohar Parikar and I said, sir, please send 3 guns up to high altitude. Please send 3 guns to the deserts. The first 6, put them together, use it as a battery. And then all the problems will come out. We resolve it and then go for mass production. The ATAGS has not been, that treatment has not been given to ATAGS also. We've still gone. I commend the government for having gone for this. Now, when you deploy it, you use it, the problems will come. Take it from me, problems will come. Okay? This just trials won't solve. And many of these, I won't say shortcuts, many of the issues which are unresolved will boil up. They'll come up. And then you don't have a choice but to rectify them, because that's with men. If those fail, the defense of India is at stake. It has to be rectified then. Otherwise, nothing will move up. So things
True.
will,
You
they'll
know,
happen.
the criticism is you mentioned about this, true. But the criticism is that, for example, let's say the foreign gun, like for example, let's say the Athos and the Nexter that was in competition for the earlier towed gun system.
Yeah, yeah.
People say that they didn't go through the same kind of rigorous testing, high altitude travel, just like off firing that the attacks has gone through. Attacks came out in 2016, was formed, was fired first, was shown at Republic Day in 2017. Clear
Yeah, you
trials.
must know this. This is absolutely lack of knowledge. That's why I'm laughing. Okay, I'm laughing. You must understand that towed gun, that Elbit gun, and that Nexter gun went through a whole lot of trials. More rigorous than this. It went through two series of trials, two circles of trials. And those guns were established guns. This is a new gun. Okay. Dhanush, we started the first gun firing in 2011. It took us almost 6 years for us to say this gun can be inducted, 2016.
Yeah.
Same thing here. Okay. So far, the production has not caught up. So people will talk what they want. I mean, that's part of the deal. Uh, and let me tell you, people who talk are of two varieties. Okay. The first variety is those who don't know what they're talking of. The second variety is those who know quite a lot of what they're talking of, because they
But they're
have an axe
selective.
to grind. They have an axe to grind.
Yeah.
They have an interest in the way they talk. So I'm very sure. Look, I've now retired 8 years. I can see this process transparently. Okay, I can exactly see what's happening, and I think the government is doing the right thing.
But I'm sure, and it's a great
I
thing.
mean, it's
As
a
you mentioned,
look.
that this attacks is an Indian system, it's an Indian gun,
Gun.
that India has manufactured a gun, an artillery gun, after decades, right?
Yeah.
And so this is something which India needs to be proud of, and it has been inducted. I just wish that it was inducted faster. The contract signing was done earlier, because the trials were completed in 2022. But
No, no, no,
that's
no. I mean, look,
that's
trials completion, and this takes time. Let's be very. Look, you look at it. The earlier gun, the towed gun, the trials were completed twice, but we're not
yeah,
ordered for it.
true.
So, so there's no correlation between the two. The trials, when you complete, issues come up. Those issues have to be addressed before you go in for a thing. Okay. So I think you have to be patient. These things don't happen overnight, because if you
True.
do a
That is
wrong
okay.
thing, okay, if you do a wrong thing, then the experience of Dhanush. Please understand, we gave the order for Dhanush in 2016. Today is 2018. They're not yet produced. How do you explain that? Okay, that's also a Indian gun. That's not a foreign gun. Like many
Yeah.
people say, that's a desi gun. It's a desi
Listening
Bofors.
purpose.
That's
Yeah.
it's not a desi Bofors. Please, it's not a desi Bofors. That's the most stupid thing we can think of. Okay, it's abusing that gun. That's the one of the best guns you have. It's an unfortunate thing we have not been able to take it to its conclusion. Logical conclusion of by now if our system had worked well with purpose, okay, we should have had 4 to 5 regiments of that in, and that was the way to go forward.
True. True. I think that's what I was focusing on. I think we need to the entire system needs to work with a purpose, and when I say entire system, it involves not just the army but also from the MOD, from the PMO, people who are part of the decision making,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the RDO, and the production agency for that matter. But thank you so much, sir, for joining me here at the print. I know that you have to go for a meeting soon, so but it's always a pleasure to listen to you and to talk to you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks a lot.